guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. I'm sure you can tell by my hair tonight what we're going to talk about, but you guessed it, yes, we're going to talk about Star Wars, most specifically the Galactic Starcruiser. But before I go any further, I want to let you guys know that this is 100% a spoiler-free video. That's right. I will not be posting any pictures or any video of the Starcruiser. So for those of you who are trying to keep it a surprise, I get ya. This is an informative video only. This is to help you plan, help you prepare video only. This is a should I book this experience video. Got it? No spoilers. 100% promise. So yeah, the Galactic Starcruiser recently had its first official cruise literally a couple of days ago, but Disney has been having media events and all sorts of things happening. Lots of information has been coming out about the cruise, which has left a few of us, those of us who are planning, to have lots of questions. Well, I have answers for you guys, so let's get into it. First, this is kind of a family-based question and answer thing. So if you are taking, younglings or those Padawan learners with you, this video might be perfect for that. For those of you without kiddos, that's okay. You might want to know this information too. So the first thing, of course, is what's included. That's right. Well, for those of you who don't know, this is a 2-night experience and it has a set amount of dates. It's not just, oh, can I do 3 nights? Can I do 1 night? Can I do it for a week? No, it's a 2-night experience. Everyone boards together, everyone gets off together, right? Just like a cruise ship. And for a family of 4, you're looking at about $6,500. That's right. That is for a standard, normal cabin, not your fancy cabins, not your super nice captain suites. Just a standard room with a queen bed and a set of bunks is going to cost you in the $6,500 zone. I know everyone keeps posting it's going to be about $6,000, but by the time you add tax, the price does go up. So as someone who has actually paid for it, that's right, that is the price for a family of 4. But what exactly does that include, right? Like, what am I getting for all of my galactic credit? So of course you're going to get an awesomely themed room, right? Like I said, you're going to have that kind of Star Warsian, almost looks like a room that would have been aboard the Falcon with those really cool orange accents and bunk beds. And you're going to have a really awesome window into space. So yeah, you're going to get that themed Star Warsian room. You're also going to get all your meals are included, right? Just like on a Disney cruise, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. Of course, alcohol is always extra. You're also going to get a day at Hollywood Studios. Now, this is a day that you do not need a park pass reservation for. You do not need a park ticket for. It comes with the cruise. So you're going to have a day at Hollywood Studios to do whatever you want. And whatever you want includes lunch, if you prefer to eat at Docking Bay, Ronto Roasters, or anywhere in Hollywood Studios, lunch would be included. It also includes a pass to ride Rise the Resistance. That's right, no getting up early to get a Lightning Lane or a Genie Plus or whatever it is. You automatically get a pass for Rise the Resistance and the Falcon. So that's pretty sweet. But the biggest, the most important thing that you're actually getting with this cruise is the missions aboard the ship, the extremely immersive storytelling missions you're going to play along with. That's exactly, what this cruise is about. It gives you the chance to build your own story. Are you on the dark side? Are you on the light side? Are you a secret spy for the Resistance, or are you loyal to the First Order? Only you can decide and play your part out on various missions, constantly happening missions. But then, just like a normal cruise, there are also going to be activities at set times that you can also participate in. Things like lightsaber training, sabacc or a sabacc tournament, droid racing, and all those sorts of fun activities that you would have gotten on a normal cruise. But of course, these are Star Wars themed. There's going to be characters everywhere. So yeah, it's It's a hefty price, but it is a fully immersive Star Wars experience. But now that you know what you're actually getting for your money, let's break it down. Because once you've paid for this and it's coming upon you, you're like, oh, well, what do I need? What do I need to be thinking about? What do I need to prepare for? So that's what we're going to talk about. So these are your things you really need to know. First thing is about the data pad. You are 100% going to be on a phone or a tablet pretty much your entire cruise. Is it 24/7? No, there will be periods that you can put down your phone and not pay attention to someone who may be alerting you to go on a mission. It's all up to you and how much story playing you actually want to be involved with. But the part that I didn't know that recently came out is that Disney wants all passengers to have a phone or a tablet. Every single passenger that wants to play along needs a device. Obviously, babies don't need a device. They don't even know how to use one. But my family of 4, I did not realize that my kids also need a device, a phone or a tablet. Of course, Disney does say they will provide tablets and phones based on a first come, first service basis, but like you want to be the family that doesn't get the tablet or the phone, right? And just so you know, it is actually a phone. It's an iPhone that they do provide with a case that you must return. Otherwise, they will charge you a whopping $700, but we're skipping ahead a bit. So either way, yes, everyone needs a phone or a tablet. I just naturally assumed that we were going to have them in the room and we were going to get to use them almost like a wave phone on the Disney Cruise Line. So to find out that now I have to scramble around to find my kids a phone is a bit stressful. And here's the other kicker. It needs to be a recent phone or tablet, an updated phone or tablet, because if the Disney Play app does not work on your device, then you're kind of screwed. You just are. So, warning. Make sure you get everyone an updated device that you can 100% download that Disney Play app on. Now, the first cruises that came out, Disney found out very quickly that some phones, Androids, and other older phones was not working with the Disney Play app. So they were actually providing phones to all of the guests, which I personally love because then I don't have to worry about if my kids have a device that's updated. But the situation that's happening right now for these first few cruises might not be a situation that continues. So if your cruise is later down the line, this might be something you want to call and ask Disney about and make sure that either A, they're 100% providing these data pads, or 100% you need to go out and get your kiddos a phone. Just know this in advance. All participants will need to have Play app accounts. Now this threw me for a bit because I'm like, well, my kids don't have emails. My kids don't have their own devices. Why would they have a Play app account? Well, after lots and lots of talking to the cast members, I was actually able to link the kids to my parent account. So they do actually have their own accounts, just kind of under me. It didn't require them to have an email address or even to be on my Disney experience. So that was kind of great because I really did not want to have to make my kids' email addresses and the whole thing. My husband, however, did have to have his own account with his own email, and he does have to be linked to my Disney experience because I am the lead guest. So just note that in advance. So the other thing that Disney kept saying was that parents can share. Share? That's right, I'm gonna take my phone and let my kids fight over it to see who gets to do a mission now. No, thank you. Disney, that is a stupid idea. I do not want to share my phone with my children. I want my children to have their own devices and run about and do their own missions. However, if you have a younger child, like really young, then yes, it would make sense for the parent and the little kiddo to share a phone. They also said that families could share 1 or 2 phones, meaning mom and a kid do a mission, dad and a kid do a mission. Therefore, you're only using, the 2 phones in the household. Again, who wants to? My kids are old enough to want to play on the app themselves and run off and do their own excursions. They're not necessarily going to want me to tag along. And I want to run and do my own thing, right? I have my own story to tell. So these are kind of things that filter into it that we're going to talk about later when we discuss the ages of kids that this cruise is good for. But just kind of note that everyone will need a device. And are you willing to miss out on some of the opportunities you as mom and dad could experience because you are following your kid around, or you're letting your kid take over and use your device? It's up to you guys. Me personally, I want to do my own story, and I want my kids to do their own story. So just, know that in advance. And like I said, currently right now, Disney is providing devices to all guests. This just might not stick around. So just be prepared to have devices for all. But let's move on from the devices. Costumes. This was a huge concern for me. Costumes. How big and crazy do I go? Are my kids going to want to go big and crazy? Do we all need to match? Where am I going to get these costumes? How much am I going to spend? Whew, so much with costumes. So this is what you need to know. Now, this is a huge part of the cruise. Disney wants this to be a fully immersive experience. And for you to get that fully immersive experience, yes, dressing the part is a huge part of it. So the first thing you want to do is, yes, you want to be part of the story, which starts with you creating your own background story. So everyone aboard the cruise should have their own story. Are you a scoundrel? Are you a bounty hunter? Are you, part of the resistance? Are you, loyal to the First Order? What is your story? And your story can be crazy. Star Wars has a huge in-universe plethora of stuff that you can choose from. You don't have to just pick from, the 9 movies that we've all seen. There are books, there are comic strips, there are other types of TV shows that you can watch that are Star Wars based. Mandalorian, Boba Fett, just pick one. Any of these things you could get your background story from. You can even kind of just be like a person on Batuu. It's really up to you, but it is very helpful for you to come up with your background story and then dress for that. Part of your background story could be, what's your home planet? Are you from Endor, Mos Eisley, Tatooine? Pick a planet, pick a home area, a home base, and work from that. How about occupation? Are you a bounty hunter? Are you a Sith in training? Are you a Jedi? All these kind of things are very much in par for what's going on the ship. Now, you will see a mix of participants. You will see those crazy, amazing people that went way over the top. Full on makeup, full on headpieces. You will see those people. I love seeing those people. Those people make me so happy. I just wish I could be one of those people. By the time I'm dressing myself and the kids and making sure the husband's got the right gear on, I run out of time. So just note that you will see those crazy, awesome, went over the top people. You will see kind of the medium, I'm just trying to get it done people, right? And then you'll see people who either didn't know or didn't care and are wearing some sort of shirt that says Star Wars. There will be a mix, but try your best to fit in to be somewhat like a Star Warsian character. Even if you just go as simple as cargo pants, a plain colored shirt, some form of scarf, maybe a vest, and just try to fit in with the atmosphere is a good idea. Of course, if you already have a cruise booked, you can go to Shop Disney and buy some of the costume items they have up. Note that they are pricey, and note that, if everyone buys the Princess Leia dress, how is that really going to work? Do you really want to go on a cruise with 50 different Princess Leias? So I'm not really sure what Disney was thinking about when they came out with the Princess Leia dress, but I'm going to move on. So kids, right? This is a family, tips thing. A lot of kids want to wear their Halloween costumes. Assuming most people on this cruise are Star Wars people and are raising their kids to be Star Wars people, then most of these kids already have Halloween costumes. So you may see multiple Reys running around, BB-8s, Darth Vaders, whatever. Tons of little Jedis running about because it's very common for these kids to just put on Halloween costumes. My kids will not be. My kids will be telling their own story in little, you know, here and there items that I have purchased. Oddly, a lot from Amazon. For example, my daughter will be, you know, on the dark side. So I did get her a black Jedi robe cape on Amazon, less than $30, by the way. She'll just be wearing a black t-shirt, black leggings, but to accent it, I did get her red, you know, armbands to go all the way up her arm. She's got a red scarf that she can use and tie underneath a belt. She can use it as a hood, or she can use it as like a red belt to go over all that black. Either way, we chose to go that direction. My husband and my son will be dressing very scoundrel-like. Think your cargo pants, your simple kind of cream or black t-shirt, long sleeve shirt with a vest. Very simple. They are not people who want to dress up in costume, nor do they want to do a bunch of costume changes. So we were trying to keep it simple, but very much in universe. Now here's the tips you want to think about for your costumes, okay? First, it's a lot of walking. The ship is huge. It's at least 7 stories. And depending on how many missions you are constantly getting on your data pad, you may be zipping all over the place, especially if you're following your children. So you could be doing your own missions. You could be following your kids on their missions. Who knows? Either way, pack those comfy shoes. If you need to wear those boots, great. They are very much in universe, but maybe you should pack some inserts, you know, keep those toesies happy. Ladies, I know you might want to look lovely in your high heel shoes, but it's up to you if you want to keep running about in that type of footwear. So think comfortable, but as in universe as you can. The other thing is temperature, right? So think inside the ship when you're on your mission, right? You're running here and you're going there and you're doing this and you're doing all these great things. You might be warming up a bit. So it's probably okay to wear maybe a light, longer jacket or dress in layers, or maybe even a t-shirt and cargo pants. But once you get into that dining room and you're sitting down and you're eating, it's really chilly in there, according to everyone I've talked to. So all those ladies that have gotten like short sleeve, very lovely sequency like dresses, you may want to prepare for a shawl or a cape or something to cover up your arms just a little bit, because the dining rooms are apparently very chilly. The other thing is, because there's so much going on, there's not a lot of time for elaborate costume changes. So if you are that crazy person that I love that's doing full-on face makeup and head dresses and the whole thing, just note that the longer it takes you to get ready and prepare means the less missions you are doing on the ship. So you want to think simple and easy, yet in universe. So a lot of our costumes are pretty much the same, right? The same type of cargo pants, the same type of shirt. We're just swapping them out. I have a cape-like shawl that I have that I can wrap in different ways and still look very in universe, but yet it's different for each day that I wear it. Also note that you only really need costuming for 2 days, right? So you're gonna board the ship in probably a really awesome Star Warsian look, and then you're gonna go to dinner. You can change for dinner, or you can just up your current outfit a little bit, throw on a cape, throw on a shawl, stick something in your hair, and kind of up your look a little bit for dinner. The next day is Batu, so you have to think, oh my gosh, it's gonna be hot, it's Florida, so maybe you wanna kind of simplify your outfit a little bit, think shorts, think t-shirt, whatever, still a little bit in universe, but then that evening you're doing the fancy dinner. So that's when the ladies are doing the sequence dresses and the whole thing, but not everyone is, but you do have to think it's cold in there. So that's essentially what the day you arrive, adjust it for dinner, Batu, and your fancy dinner. That's 3 to 4 outfits at the most. The following day is simply kind of like breakfast and go, so you don't need a full-on Star Wars outfit necessarily for that day, or just kind of wear a few of the pieces that you wore earlier in the trip. But that's just something to kind of note. And if all else fails and you just cannot come up with something, and Shop Disney doesn't have your size, they will have the same costume pieces on the ship. So you can buy like a quick, Jedi tunic, or buy, a nice cloak for the ladies or something like that to kind of up whatever outfit it is that you did find at home. So just note that is a thing in case you weren't prepared or you didn't think about it, kind of thing. All right, the other thing to think about is, what do you need to book ahead of time? Now, this is huge. 60 days before your excursion, you need to consider booking, Droid Workshop, Droid Depot to build a droid, Savi's Workshop, build your own custom lightsaber, or Oga's Cantina, which is, the bar over at Galaxy's Edge. The other thing that you can book 60 days out is, and this is new, you can do a photo session, a portrait experience aboard the ship. Now, this is a 30-minute thing. It is $99, and it is not Memory Maker. This is a completely different thing from Memory Maker. Those photographers will be going in spots throughout the ship that Memory Maker doesn't go. They will have special backgrounds, special lighting. You can even borrow props and get the most amazing Star Warsian-like pictures in certain areas of the ship with your costume on. So just note, 60 days out, these are the 4 things you can book. Now, here's my opinion on this. We booked the Droid Depot because I was like, well, I don't want my kids to be left out and not get the full, Star Wars experience. So I had booked the Droid Depot, even though we already owned a bunch of droids. I purposely didn't book Savi's Workshop because, well, we've already got one, right? You only need so many really expensive lightsabers. And we almost booked the Cantina, but because you're going to Batuu first thing in the morning, and then you want to leave early and get on the ship because all the stuff happens on the ship, we decided not to book the Cantina because we really didn't want to start drinking that early in the day, especially because we're parents and we have to stay awake and we can't take naps and we have to follow the kids around. So I had booked Droid Depot. Now later when stuff came out, I realized that I go to Hollywood Studios frequently. I have been to Batuu many times. I have been to Galaxy's Edge many times. What I have not done is the Galactic Starcruiser. So I actually chose to cancel my Droid Depot appointment. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna do what we need to do on Galaxy's Edge, arrive first thing in the morning, ride the 2 rides, walk around, take a few pictures in our outfits, and then we're gonna leave and get back on the ship because the stuff that you're really paying for is on the ship, is the missions on the ship. So my tip is for you guys is, if you really want to build those droids and you really want to build those sabers, maybe do them on a different day. Don't do them during your Galactic Starcruiser experience because you could be missing out on things that are going on aboard the ship because you were in Batuu. The other thing is, apparently if you do the Cantina, which part of me is still kind of regretting, right? It's too late now. There will be a few missions that can follow you in the Cantina. So if that's something you wish to do, then maybe that's at least kind of getting a 2-for-1, right? You're getting to go to the Cantina plus you're getting a mission. So that's kind of fun, but I would 100% recommend the photo session. So like I said, I canceled our droid thing, but I kept the photo session. Now, if you really want your kids to have a droid, I will give you a little heads up. They do sell a very exclusive Galactic Starcruiser droid on the ship. So rather than having your kids build one, you could purchase the one that's already on the ship, and then they can remote control and drive it around if they wish. This is the option we are going to choose. If my kids decide they want to play with a droid on the cruise, then we will go ahead and buy them that droid, which is $99. So it's roughly the same price as building one anyway. But yes, those are the 4 things that you need to know about to book ahead of time in your 60-day window. You can call the Galactic Starcruiser and have them book it for you, which is what they suggest, so that they can time it right based on other things going on with your itinerary. I booked the Droid Depot on my own and it did show up in my itinerary. I purposely booked it for like 11:30 knowing that we would do it and then have lunch and then go back on the ship. So note that they do want you to call ahead, but in case the phone lines are crazy and you can't get in, just go ahead and book it yourself and they can add it to your itinerary. They are the only ones, however, that can book the photo session. Another thing you need to know about is Batuu, which we kind of touched about earlier. So yes, on day 2, you will be going to Batuu, aka Galaxy's Edge. It's a whole thing. I don't want to spoil anything, but basically you will have breakfast on the ship and they will transport you from the Starcruiser to Galaxy's Edge, where you're pretty much going to have a free-for-all because you automatically get passes to the Falcon and to Rise the Resistance. So you can kind of just do whatever you want to do, take pictures, ride the rides, go have lunch at Docking Bay or Ronto Roasters or even anywhere in Hollywood Studios, because that's what you have. You have a park day at Hollywood Studios. Most people, because they are in costume and they want to stay fully immersed, they will kind of stay in the Galaxy's Edge Batuu area. And then of course, once you are done riding the rides, then you will go back to the Starcruiser and keep doing missions and whatever you want. Just note that you are going to Batuu in a costume and Florida is hot. So as I said earlier, you might want to try to think about your particular attire on that day. Short sleeves, maybe cargo shorts instead of cargo pants, and comfortable shoes so that you're still sort of in universe character, but you're also prepared for the Florida heat. My kids will be wearing shorts and t-shirt versions of their outfits that they'll be wearing on the ship. So it will be an easy transition when we get back to the Starcruiser to quickly either throw on a cape or throw on a vest, change our shorts, and we're back in character, right? So that's kind of where we're going with it. But yeah, that's really what you need to know about Batuu is think hot, think, easy costumes to kind of, add or remove, and then comfy shoes, right? And the other thing to consider is if you're bringing those younglings with you, specifically talking the 7 and under crowd. Disney or the Galactic Starcruiser is calling these younglings part of the Loth Cat crew, and there are special activities designed for them and activities that they can 100% participate in, like the droid racing, finding porgs aboard the ship, and other such things like that. Just note that even though there's a lot of activities for that age group, there aren't a ton. So the majority of these little ones will be following other family members around the ship, which is 100% fine. Those little ones can go anywhere, right? Just follow mom and dad and do whatever mom and dad are doing. Just note there is no babysitting aboard the ship. Now I mention this because a lot of the activities happen deep into the night, into the 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock zone. So yeah, just something to kind of note. If you have a youngling with you, who's watching the youngling while the other person can go and do the 10 o'clock mission? Just something to kind of know about in advance. The little ones have been having a great time, just like everyone else. It's just a different kind of great time, right? There's lots of characters to interact with, plus the cast members. I think the biggest thing to consider is if you as mom and dad want to bring the youngling with you. Is your youngling ready for this? Is your youngling fully immersed in the Star Wars kind of genre or, in lifestyle, right? The other thing you need to consider is dinner. So when you first book the cruise, you can pick between early or late dinner. Obviously, if you have a youngling with you, you're going to want the 5:30 dinner slot. Otherwise, you're eating at late. And frankly, that's really late for my younglings, right? So just something to kind of know in advance if you are bringing those younger kiddos. Now, my personal thoughts on all of this, after doing all of this research and trying to figure out what my family's going to do or what's best for us, this is what I've come up with. Hopefully it helps you guys. So the first thing is I am glad my kids are older because I personally want to be 100% involved with the story. I think it would be harder for me to spend this much money if I had to spend the whole time handing my phone to my 4-year-old or my 5-year-old or constantly following my 5-year-old around the ship. I think I would have waited. So I'm really glad my kids are of the right age where they can kind of run off and do their own thing, and me, I can run off and do my own thing. So yeah, I kind of at this point would suggest that you wait till your kids are a little bit older, until they can handle their own data pad, especially if they can read and follow instructions on their own data pads to follow their own missions. Yes, I get mom and dad can go with the kids and that can still be an enjoyable experience. But thus far, the people that have taken their kids weren't paying the $6,500 price tag. As someone who has actually had to pay that price, I think I would wait. Just giving my personal opinion. Now, they did say that for the actual lightsaber training that goes that happens aboard the ship, you have to be at least 7 to even do that particular activity. They do have lightsaber training for the Lothcat crew, but it's not the same. So just kind of note that in advance. And like I said, many of the activities are into the evening. So if you have a kid who takes a nap, or if you have a kid who goes to bed early, that's fine, that's great. But what if mom and dad want to go do something? Who's going to watch the kid? Is mom really going to want to watch the kid while dad is off having fun? Are you guys going to take turns? These are just things to kind of consider before booking it if you do have the younger crowd with you. You can take turns or you can wait a couple of years, 100% up to you, just giving you guys the info. Also note, there's a lot of characters everywhere, and they're not wearing face masks anymore. So you are seeing life-size, I'm not giving it away, you are seeing life-size Star Wars characters. Is this something that's going to upset your children? Is this something your kids could be afraid of? How do your kids feel about the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus at the mall? How do they feel about other characters at Disney World? Would this frighten them? Just something to consider. Plus, it's Star Wars. So of course there's going to be random weird, Star Warsian sounds and lights and booms and all that kind of stuff. Would that scare your youngling? Again, only you can decide. The other thing to note, which I may have said earlier, is that on day 3, a lot of people were planning outfits for day 3, right? They, waking up, they're going to put on an outfit. Day 3 is basically just like a regular Disney cruise. They just want you off the ship. So you're literally just eating and packing and going. So there's no need to really get fully immersive in a Star Wars character on day 3 unless you really want to. So I'm assuming you could just wear, a simple Star Wars t-shirt and perhaps your cape, or something very, just a Star Wars something on day 3, because it really is just packing breakfast and go. And at least for us, we will be packing breakfast and going to another theme park. So I definitely do not want to be wearing my full-on costume attire over at Epcot, because not only will I be hot, but it's a little out of universe over there at Epcot. The other thing I'm gathering is pack less than you think. Now, this is really, really funny to me because this is the same tip I have for Disney Cruise Line. You get so excited to go on these cruises, right? And you're thinking of all these things that you need, and you have all these wardrobe changes and all this stuff going on, and you pack all this stuff and you have all these great ideas, and then reality sets in and you realize you don't have time. You don't have time for all the costume changes, for all the whatever is going on. I mean, think, the day you arrive, you're in an outfit, and then you're off exploring the gift shop or your room, or you're on an excursion or a mission, or you're meeting the captain, or all these things, and then boom, it's time for dinner. When in there were you able to change your wardrobe if it's elaborate? Just throwing it out there. Again, the day 2, you're on Batuu, you're having fun, you're hot, ugh. If you get off Batuu, you're on the ship, you got some air conditioning, and then immediately there's, activities going on and missions, and then boom, a fancy dinner. Are you gonna have time to change from your Batuu outfit to a Star Cruiser outfit and then again to a dinner outfit? I'm just throwing it out there. So yes, it all comes down to pack less than you think. And you have to really think about the ease of all your costumes, right? Is it gonna take you 2 hours to get ready or 10 minutes? Also, comfort. You're doing a lot of running around, chasing this, doing that, especially if you have kiddos. So make sure you got those comfy shoes. but also try to stick a little bit in universe so that you can get that full immersive feel. And remember the temperature. If you're running around like a crazy person doing all these missions, you might not want a hood and sleeves and multiple layers and all these things. Just something to note. And this was really important for me to find out because I debated against this for a long time, which was, should I pack my droids or my saber? I mean, I spent so much money building them and paying for them. Of course, I would love to have them be part of the story. But you are so busy doing these activities and these missions that you don't really have time to play with your droid. And even though there is droid racing, they provide a droid for you. You could technically use the droid that you built earlier in the day, but Disney's also providing droids. So there's no reason to have to pack up, take on the airplane with you, your droid that you've already made. The same thing with the saber. You can 100% get the clip, wear your saber on your costume, but is that going to be comfortable for you running and going? And what if it falls and slips and all those things? Plus, even though it might be fun to attach the blade and, do all this really great stuff, are you going to have time for that? Just mentioning it. And because the photo session does have props, I will be calling before I go to see if I can borrow one of their sabers so I don't have to pack and ship my actual saber on the airplane. That's right. That sounds like a huge pain in the butt to have to pack the droids and the sabers. So unless the saber is really important to your costume, maybe leave it at home. Just saying. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video, or I hope that you at least found it useful. I know I was so excited when this first came out that I just went ahead and booked it. I didn't even care. I'm just like, whatever. I have been saving for this for so many years that I'm like, whatever, just take my money. But then, like the stressful things hit, like, oh crap, I need a costume? Wait, I need a costume for 3 days, 2 days, multiple outfit changes? I need a costume for my whole family? What am I gonna do? It's intense and exciting and thrilling. And if you're anything like me, my family doesn't even know we're going. It's a total surprise. So I have been coming up with a backstory. I have been getting costumes for everyone in my family and nobody knows. They won't find out till the day we go. So it's not only been difficult to keep the surprise, but to also shop and prepare for this type of experience. But I'm happy having done all this research to know that it's okay if I don't go full blown crazy. I appreciate the people that do, but being a mom and someone who will be having to help my kids get dressed and my husband get dressed, and I'm sure I will be chasing my kids around at some point, even though they're old enough to do their own thing, I definitely want to make it kind of easy and breezy, but in universe. And the other thing I did, which is again kind of geeky, but I don't really care, I made my family these laminated cards. Work with me here. Because my family doesn't know, I already made them Play App accounts. So I made myself one, I attached my kids to my Play App account, I made my husband a Play App account, and I had to come up with logins and passwords. And I know when we get there, Mom, what's my password? Mom, what's my password? What's my login? What? That's right. I made a laminated card with everyone's login and everyone's password so they don't have to ask me. And then I went ahead and wrote in our backstory. So in case anyone forgets what's the name of our ship or what planet we're from or how we even managed to get aboard the Starcruiser, it's all here on this card. I even kind of mentioned what our alliance might be based on our costumes of choice. I know my family really well, and I know who is going to want to be on the dark side and who is going to want to be on the light side. But this is just the nerd in me trying to prepare. The other suggestion I have is, as a mom, as someone who is constantly having to get everyone else ready, I'm always the last one ready. I've been slowly practicing how I'm going to wear my hair and my makeup. So when the time comes, I'm not fumbling. I know exactly what I'm gonna do and I just have to do it. So I've been thinking of simple things like braids and buns and incorporating the two together. Those are both two very easy Star Warsian hair looks that a female or someone with long hair could do. So I've been working with French braids, twisting them up, making buns out of them, doing a big bun at the top with some gold headpieces for the fancy dinner night and all sorts of stuff. We have purchased most of our stuff on Amazon and then using odds and bits that we have at home. And I did find several really cool outfits or pieces from Target as well. So let me guys know, I know this video has been running on and on and on. Don't kill me. Let me know if you want me to do a video on just our outfits specifically, on the pieces that we got, what the look is, and where we got them. Like I said, we're not trying to do super crazy, but we're not, you know, Star Wars t-shirt and cargo pants either. We are trying very much to be in universe, just not over the top with it, because I honestly just don't think I'm gonna have the time to do that when we're there. When we're in the moment, I don't think I'm gonna have time to be truly elaborate. So even though in my head, I really would want to do something just gorgeous and beautiful, I know I'm not gonna have the time. So yeah, anyway guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video. Like I said, do you want me to do one on our costumes or special looks that we came up with? If so, let me know, but otherwise, you know, stay tuned, because once we are actually on the Starcruiser, there will be plenty of videos to come, spoiler videos and non-spoiler videos, and of course, my personal take on, was it worth it? Wait and see, guys. As always, mahalo for watching. Nina, out.